So when you take your motorcycle over to get a bunch of work on it, you sure hope that it goes well. And then when you have a little blind leap of faith on a suggestion and you go ahead and do it, there's a lot of reluctance when you finally get there and look at your bike and go, did I make the right call? So those of you that follow the channel are used to seeing my beautiful 2000 Road King Classic goes by the name of Duke. If you are new to the channel, that is right. I name my motorcycles and I'm damn proud of it. Duke has been away on a little bit of a surgery, I called it, for 3 or 4 weeks, and he is back, and this is the first ride since I got some work done, and I'm going to share at least part of that with you today. So my intent on taking Duke over to get some work on him was because with 26,000 miles on him, there's always a cam tensioner issue on some of these older bikes, twin cams, that can cause some major problems down the road. With the tensioners breaking apart, getting in your motor, and then you basically have a nice black boat anchor for a motorcycle. So I decided that I was going to bite the bullet and get that done, and I'm going to share with you all the things that was done to Duke, as well as how I think he is running in the video after this. So if you're not subscribed, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and the share button, and the bell icon, so you'll know when that video comes out. But I want to talk about the cosmetic change that I made to Duke, and those of you that followed me probably know it already just by this video. And let's start with one of the things that I've always said on my videos, especially on the Road King Classic, was that I didn't want to make any major changes to it because I wanted to keep it as stock as I possibly could. I bought this bike, as many of you know, used at about 20,000 miles, and it has true duals on it, a full stage 1, and it's just perfect how it is. I really don't need to do anything else to it other than what I consider protective work I just got done on the motor. But one of the things I've always thought about and said I wasn't going to do was the bars. Now, I really wanted to make sure I continued to keep the bike as original as possible, and the bike comes with buckhorn bars. Here's a picture of the bike with the old bars on it, and I did like the look of those. It made it a little more, well, I can really tell, a little more difficult for slow maneuvering, and I did have to kind of reach for them, so it wasn't the most comfortable bar. That said, I really don't tour with this bike, so I really didn't mind it that much. But when I had it over with Steve, and Steve is a super cool dude, I will tell you just real quick, I want to just give him a little pub. He is known for the guy around this part of Michigan that will work on older motorcycles, especially Harley Davidsons, years and years at the dealership. And I will tell you, when I call my dealership and say, hey, I need a job done for my cam tensioners, the first thing they say is that we're not touching a 2000, and you should take it to Steve, right? So Steve is the guy I took this bike to when I first bought it to get it checked out, and the one that really advised me on a lot of stuff, which has been great. So, you know, I was talking to Steve, I'm like, you know, dude, at one point I wanted to change the bars, but I've been back and forth on it, and he's like, well, you know, it's here, the bars aren't that expensive, and if we use bars that are not big apes, we can actually use the existing cables. I'm like, huh, interesting. He's like, you know, and I believe these are actually heritage bars is what they are. Now, are they the thicker bar? No. Are they apes? Absolutely not. Could I have went with apes? Absolutely could have. A lot more work, a lot more labor, and I'm not sure that's what I was looking for. So I said, you know what? Do it. And then I left and I'm like, oh crap. So when I came in today and I'm looking in his shop and he's got bikes everywhere, man. I should help support his business and try to get in on that, because the dude's got to be making a shitload of money with all those bikes, or he's working all the time, one of the two, or both. I was like, I'm looking for the king. I'm going, man, I gotta see the bars, and I took a picture of it and I'm like, oh, that's not bad at all, right? So now, since I'm on the bike, my arms, and I haven't taken a side shot yet, feels straight out. It feels incredibly comfortable, and I am just like, oh my god, this is so much better. And speaking of the bike, I gotta fill up here, but I gotta tell you a story about a stupid thing I've been doing on the Road King that I just didn't realize, and then we'll get back to the bars. So, first of all, we were kind of just talking about the comfort of where I felt these bars were at. He's like, man, you can, you're talking about just riding around town, man. You could tour with this bike for sure, and man, it's honestly at this point so damn comfortable. I may just be doing that. And we were just kind of talking about the bike in general, and I don't know how we got on conversation about fuel. And in my mind, as an older bike, you can put just the regular stuff in it, right? And I'm like, yeah, what? I said to him, I said, hey, dude, what's your suggestion on fuel? He's like, oh, you got to put the high stuff in this, just like you do in your Road Glide. And I'm like, really? He goes, oh, yeah. I said, I haven't been doing that. He's like, oh, you're going to feel a big difference. So thus me stopping, putting different fuel in it. I was down to a quarter of a tank anyway, so I thought I would fill up. But a mechanic I'm not, and definitely learning. And Steve coached me up on some stuff today, which I thought was pretty cool. But as I look at the new bars, just from looking at the bike, not sitting on it, do I like them as much as if they were bigger apes? Best by appearance, maybe not. Do I like them appearance-wise better than the buckhorns on there? I'm not sure. Do I like them more for how freaking comfortable I am? Hell yes. And at the end of the day, it's not about an Instagram picture or somebody going, oh man, your bike looks cool. It's about riding and how you feel and how it does and how it keeps you on it more. So I'm gonna have to get used to them. I'll give you a little more update, but my initial response and thought is I'm actually glad I made the change. And for those of you that said, please Bodine 52, don't do it, I know, but you know what, I had the chance, I took it, and as of right now, who can beat this, right? All right, folks, hey, thanks for checking in, and wanted to make sure there's honestly dozens of people have been sending me messages going, where's the king? Tell me you didn't sell it. And I wanted to let you know that he is alive and well. Thanks, Steve, for the work on the bike. I appreciate that. I'm going to leave a link and the phone number to his business. He is the owner. If you happen to be in Michigan and need something on an older bike, make sure to give him a call. And make sure to hit subscribe if you haven't, because on the next video, you are going to learn all the things that was done to the inside of Duke to make him last until they put us both in the grave together. That's right. Check in a friend, folks. We'll see you soon. Peace.
Oh, it's time for me to check on all my friends, like the Wolverines and Lions for the win. Mrs. Bodine by my side, we'll take Harley for a ride. I love you all like I love Michigan.